What up? What up?
What up, bro? What's going on?
Not much, man. Welcome everybody to the SED podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, great weekend of football. Got some basketball to talk about.
Was it?
Well, for some people, it's great weekend of football. Depends on
Was
who
it
you
a
root
great
for.
weekend? Yeah, definitely.
I had a stress-free football watching weekend again because my team is never there. So every weekend for me. What's going on, Trill? What's going on, new show?
What's up, Trill?
I think you were muted, Trill. But yeah, man, a lot to talk about.
Oh yeah. Interesting week. Definitely an interesting week.
I'm gonna leave it up to one of you guys. So we're gonna start off with the Shannon Sharp stuff first, or we can Ed Reed. Which one? We can
Let's go with Shannon. Let's go with Shannon, man.
All right.
Yeah,
I think you're saying the Ed Reed ones. I want to get a little more information on the Ed Reed. We can have a deep discussion.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, Shannon Sharp, one of the, football is supposed to be the thing of the weekend, but he kind of stole the highlight, which is crazy for NBA. Anything that has to do with NBA to take the highlights away from the divisional championship round. But he managed to do it. Not saying it was all his fault, but I caught the tail end of it. It was trending everywhere. I saw it. What, Shannon Sharp about to scratch. All I saw was Shannon Sharp standing in front of Aquaman. I'm like, what's happening here? I thought it was a movie. I thought it was a commercial. Steven Adams in his face. He in Steven Adams' face with a $4,000 cardigan on.
My boy was fresh. My boy was
them hands, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, it seems like Dylan Brooks was I think LeBron had scored on Dylan, and Shannon got to jawing back at him, letting him know he was too small. And you know Shannon, man. You know how Shannon feel about LeBron, man. You know how Shannon feel about LeBron. So I could kind of see him being real excited and being in his feelings. But Dylan Brooks started jawing back, and it looked like Shannon said, "Come say it to my face." It looked like Shannon was like, well, gee, come say it over here. Now, what I didn't understand is why everyone from the Memphis bench jumped up, because it don't look like Dylan Brooks was from the bust the move. It looked like it was just all jawing. But then I see everybody from the Memphis bench rush down to Shannon's sideline where he was. And, that's when the John was going back and forth. John Morant daddy got into it. Assistants and trainers trying to hold back. The Memphis players from Shannon, from one man, Shannon Sharp. Just one man, Shannon.
Uncle Shannon. He was gonna catch about two bodies though.
Oh yeah.
He was gonna fuck up John Morant daddy. Morant
his eyes got big when he seen John daddy.
His eyes got big.
Yeah, real
Shannon
big.
told him, what Shannon say? I bet you won't do it. What did he say? Do it then. He said something. Shannon said something, man, but they didn't want no smoke. And Shannon got escorted. They say he got escorted through the tunnel. They calmed him down a little bit, and he was able to come back and finish the game. And he did apologize. It looks like to T. Martin. Not T. Martin, but T. Morant, Ja Daddy. They spoke and they apologized, which I do respect, because that does take a man, and that's what men are supposed to do. Whenever you are wrong, you got to put that pride to the side and just let niggas know, yeah, bro, I was out of line, man. So I do respect that, and I also do respect, looking at it. Shannon was being Shannon. I respect what he did on the show. They didn't really talk about it. He apologized. He apologized to everybody. Apologized to everybody. But one thing that he said that really caught my attention was, I don't apologize for being me, because that's who I am. He's like, my actions was wrong, but that's who I am. I could have carried myself a little different. But with the apology he gave, man, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it, man. Hey, it's water under the bridge now. What do you think about it, Trill?
It is what it is at this point. I just wish, he didn't really have to act up at that game like that. But
exactly.
Like you said, he did apologize. They showed him and T. Moran apologizing, putting it to the side or whatever. So it's gonna blow over. It was funny to see though. It looked like Shannon was ready to throw some hands for real. I don't know what would have happened with him and Steven Adams, but
he would have got
everybody else got it.
Everybody else got it. Adams definitely would have been last on the list. I'm taking that. size first.
Oh no, Shannon. I think if Shannon get the first hit, it's over. He going down. And he ain't a little dude either. He was ready.
Not at all.
Man.
I feel like he was also kind of doing that just to kind of get LeBron's attention too.
Yeah.
And I like what LeBron said. Hey man, Shannon's my guy. I got Shannon Sharp's back 365 all days of the year, man. Shannon's my guy. He always look out for me, and I always look out for him. I like the brotherhood, man. I like the love between them, man.
I'm about to get controversial for a second.
Yeah, let's go.
Can I get controversial? Can I be the other guy for a second? I'm tired of getting tired of little LeBron, man. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of the basketball wise. Yeah,
right.
Probably the greatest. One of the greatest.
Yeah.
Always say something to contradict what he said before. 1 minute, because Shannon Sharp was a fan. He is a fan. He's not an NBA player. 1 minute, LeBron said, "Oh, we can't tolerate fans jumping up, getting NBA players' faces." But Shannon Sharp's my guy. He's okay.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I stole that from First Take. I didn't want I said, you know what? He's right. He did say that.
Yeah.
So you can't do one thing and then come back and say, "Oh, that's my guy.
Exactly.
Ride with him."
Yeah.
But let Joe Schmo say something. You ready to get him banned from the arena forever?
Yeah.
And then Shannon Sharp banned the game.
I feel you on that, bro.
He ain't a Hall of Fame NBA player.
Nah, I didn't even think about it like that, honestly. I ain't even think about it like that. I forgot LeBron did throw that out there. But like LeBron said, if he's a part of my team, it's okay with me. I guess that's what LeBron is saying. If he's one of my guys, it's okay with me. But I really do appreciate that brotherhood they got together, man. Because, I mean, Shannon do hold them down, man. It's a little fannish. I mean, it's definitely, it's overboard at times.
So let me get this straight. So you get the on LeBron jersey, you can say he's the greatest of all time, and you get to bypass all the rules of the arena. Do that because he's your guy.
LeBron eyes, yeah.
I get it. And then my other thing to say is with the Grizzlies feel like they're a little brother to everybody. So I know you ask why you don't understand why the bench got up. They've been picked on by the Warriors. They feel they're not respected enough in the league. So yeah, they didn't jump on the Warriors, but they don't try to jump Shannon Sharp. I don't get that part, but they feel like they feel like they're the little brothers of the league, man, of the Western Conference. Like, they don't get enough respect. And I think, with Dylan Brooks, enough is enough. We're gonna pick on the 52-year-old guy.
Right.
With him.
Right.
But I mean, like you said, Shannon and John Moran's dad, shook hands afterwards. I think, Shannon Sharp is mouthy. We see it, especially when it comes to LeBron.
Yes. One more thing I'm going to throw in there. I also want to respect how Dylan Brooks still threw shots, calling him a regular pedestrian. And as a man, Shannon looked past that. He gave him praise, told him he was a great defensive player. He loves watching him. I got to respect that, man. So kudos to Shannon, man. That's how you not get killed, man.
Shannon Dylan Brooks ain't worth his time. I grant great defender.
He ain't. He's not.
He's saying all this stuff one-on-one. He didn't want Shannon one-on-one. He was gladly that Steven Adams, 7'2", Steven Adams stepped in between and kind of got in between. Right. It's easy to say that when you got him behind you, but like you said, the water on the bridge. Shannon took the high road. He didn't bash nobody. Kudos to him, but you gotta think about him. He's still a fan. You can't be doing that, Shannon.
Right.
Love you though, but another thing in the NBA that was interesting. I saw this today. The NBA teams are selected before the game, so they don't have time to prep. It's like going out to the courts when we're younger, picking your squad. Let's run. I like that idea. They try to do anything to boost the All-Star. Every few years, with Kobe passing, they changed the rule. How they had the last quarter. You battle for minutes. I haven't watched the All-Star games. I don't know how it works, but this is interesting. Like right before the game, you don't know who team you're on. It's right before tip-off. So I like that idea. I like that they're trying to change it up because typically, as the older we get, the worse for our eyes the All-Star weekend looks. As a kid,
yeah.
as a kid, it's amazing.
Yeah.
All my favorite players playing together, they hooping, they high fiving, they hugging.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh man, this is terrible.
Right,
But
right.
I like them adding a little wrinkle, kind of like what the NFL did, getting rid of Pro Bowl altogether. Let's do skills competition. We all remember the skills competition growing up, seeing people,
exactly,
throwing, it's fun. So kudos to them. I like it. What you guys think?
I love the fact that the NBA is willing to, add, to the All-Star game. Just give us something more, something to think about, something for us to be excited about. But I also feel like the NBA is a little petty too. I feel like they're a little messy. You got to think about it. Imagine being the last pick.
Right. Well, we know how James Harden felt because he was
exactly. And
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, just imagine being that last pick, and you got to turn around and play that game, and you get picked in front, picked last in front of everybody. Like that's gonna be crazy.
But that's opportunity to ball out. You remember the kids? You remember that last dude who got picked? I'm like, man, that's tough. Like, oh man, gotta have him now. So, I mean, I think it's fun. It's competitive now because now you're doing on the spot. You're looking these guys in the eyes and saying, that's my boy. I want to win. Pick him,
Right. Yeah,
NBA is messy, dog.
Yeah, but it's entertaining for us. I'm gonna watch it.
It is entertaining. Definitely entertaining.
I want to see how this goes down because you got nice LeBron who don't say nothing bad about anybody on live TV. Now he has to look somebody in the eye and say, I don't want you.
We don't want him.
The game's gonna be on TNT. You know what they say about TNT? We love drama. So that's all it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be about.
Man, that's gonna be
dope. Enough to have him doing live, picking your team. Now you're picking live before the game, before tip off.
Right. Nah, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah.
Do they have they don't have the All-Stars pick yet, right?
I don't think the official list is out yet. It's still I think still a few weeks away, but I think
I need to see that when that list come out. We definitely need to talk about it because I'm gonna be able to tell you who's gonna get picked last.
All right, one more thing on the NBA before we get off. The NBA, LeBron, man, he's continued to do more and more amazing things. The first player to score 40 points against every NBA team. Now, we all know that. Was it Wilt who averaged 50 points back in the day? But by them saying all NBA teams, because some of the teams went around, like Miami Heat, Orlando Magic, teams like that, went around to the 80s, late 80s. But that's still phenomenal, though. I mean, it's still this record. I don't know how much research they went to just find more things for him to do, but to hear that out loud, it's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah. That man. Yeah, that is crazy, man. But it just shows what greatness is, man. I mean, I believe LeBron, he dropped what was that, 40 the other night, if I'm not mistaken.
46.
46.
Yeah, man. So I mean, LeBron is on he's on, it looks like he's on some Tom Brady type stuff because he's still performing. I mean, it looks different, but it's still explosive. It's not as constant as it was, but it's still explosive. But yeah, I love these little I call them ESPN stats with LeBron, man, because they just find ways to make stats, bro. Like they'll find what time like he wins, he's undefeated past 7 p.m. They'll find some stats about the player, man. But yeah, this is crazy though. It's crazy. Just another notch on this list.
I just want to know what can the haters say at this point for anybody that like LeBron, like he's he's one of the first players to do this. Nobody else can say this. Then he's about to pass up Kareem, all-time scoring leader. Like, what else can you say against this man? Like, you can't take his compliments away. Like,
right.
They will find a way. They will say, well, that team was trash this year, or that team was, they will find a way. But it's hard to talk bad about this kind of feat because everybody can't do it. I mean,
hell no.
I wouldn't be like Nucho said. I wouldn't be surprised they found him how many points he scored after 7 o'clock Thursday night.
Man,
pretty sure it's another one of them coming out.
ESPN stats,
yeah. All right, man. So straight to the NFL, man. Yeah, it was a tough weekend. But we'll get to the game. We'll talk about probably one of the best games. Depending if you watched it or how you took it. The Chiefs, snuck past the Jaguars, and kudos for Nucho. Trevor Lawrence look good, man. I can't lie.
He does.
He looks good.
He does.
I think he's lacking maybe one or two playmakers. You still got Marvin Jones out there as one of your go-to guys, and no offense to Marvin Jones, but he's not the guy he was a couple of years ago. But
right.
The game, 27-20, right? It was a 7-point game. What you think?
Right.
What do you think?
It was a good game, man. It was a real good game. I like Trevor. I was more shocked with what we got out of that Pat Mahomes. That was very shocking to me. We were sitting down watching the game, and just to see the injury that Pat Mahomes took, and for him to come back and play, that was mind blowing. Because I was sitting there, like everybody knew, everyone at the table was like, "Yeah, he's done." We probably won't see him until he might not be back for a while because ain't no telling what's going on. Clearly, the X-rays were negative, and for Pat Mahomes to come back and literally beat a team with one leg kind of just gave me reminiscences of, kind of reminded me of the Byron Leftwich game when he played with Marshall. He had the hurt leg.
It was carrying down the field.
They were carrying him down the field, and he was just sitting there slanging the ball, man. But yeah, Pat Mahomes, man, that was another notch on his list, man. And it was a notch for me. The dude is great. That's what you want when you pay a guy $500 million. It's quarterbacks with two legs that can't complete a game. When you pay a guy $500 million, that's what you expect to get out of him. You expect for him to play through injuries and still be able to win a game. That's what you expect out of a quarterback when you give him that type of money. So, it just shows how good he is. For the Jaguars, they made some mistakes. The Jaguars could have won that game, but they just made some mistakes. Trevor missed some passes. They made some mistakes, and it was a crucial key turnover at the end. They was about to score a touchdown, and the dude fumbled the ball on the 3-yard line, and that would have helped them. Not saying they would have won, but they would have been down by maybe like a couple of points. But Jaguars, they play. I picked them to win. They just missed some opportunities. But shout out to Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, man. That was an amazing performance. They got a big game coming up this next week, so we'll see what Pat Mahomes can do with a little time to heal.
For me, looking at that game, I'm looking at the stats now. I saw it a couple of days while I was putting the topics together. I think it's a topic for a lot of teams. I think sometimes these teams, when they go panic mode, they have quarterbacks passing way too much more than they should. I'm looking at the difference. Lawrence threw 39 passes compared to 19 rushes. I understand sometimes you're behind, so you got to catch up. But the balance is a little off. And like you said, down, trying to come back, could have won.
Right.
Shout out to Chad. Shout out to Chad Henning, the ex quarterback from 18s, but
he did nothing. He did nothing, but quarterback.
Hey, he led 98 yard drive.
Pacheco had a 58-yard run. Damn.
But it was Chad Henning. He got the job done, got a touchdown. The quarterback is out. He stepped up.
If you just want to shout out Michigan, just say that, man. The dude was. Can you tell me Chad Henne's stats, if you don't mind? Since you're looking at the stats, can you tell me what?
I'll tell you right now. He was 5 for 7, efficient 5 for 7 with a touchdown. He had a higher pass rate than Kelsey. He had a higher pass. Yeah, come on, man.
Okay, I'm just saying, Pacheco had a 58-yard. All right, man. Shout out Henny, man. Shout out Henny.
The ex-Jag, if I'm not mistaken, he played with the
The Dolphins. He was with the Dolphins too.
Yeah, well, a lot of teams.
Yeah. A lot of teams. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, what you got, man?
The Chiefs did what they were supposed to do. I thought they would beat them. I thought it would be a landslide, but they did what they had to do. If Pat Mahomes doesn't get hurt, then we know what would have happened in that game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Did what they were supposed
but
to
Marv, I was telling Biz and them how that game kind of reminded me of that Byron Leftwich game. You remember they were carrying him down on one leg in college when he played with Marshall? Yeah.
I mean, not that dramatic. He won't get carried.
Not that dramatic.
It wasn't that dramatic. Yeah. It was just the fact that he was able to finish.
No, I messed up. I mean,
they were picking him up,
and,
helping him and all that.
And he was still pretty efficient, but you can still see him hobbling. I wonder, how much difference it'll make next week against a better defense.
So what they said is they definitely they're gonna shoot the leg up. They're gonna give him some perkies. Some of them. But
any given Sunday style, huh? They shoot him up.
Right. Nah, they definitely gonna shoot him up. They gonna play, but I don't give a damn. If I'm the Bengals, I'm twisting that ankle. I'm taking a penalty for it too. I'm taking a penalty for it too. I'm sorry.
You can't be a man guy. You gotta get like Eli Apple in there.
Hey, send that back up in. Rush. Get in there. Twist it.
Take that 15
The Gator roll.
Oh no.
That's dirty though, bro.
It's super dirty.
Hey, you're trying to win. It's Super Bowl.
All right. So what's next for the Jaguars? They came. I think they finished 9-8. They finished strong, getting to the playoffs, which was tough. For me personally, I think they need another playmaker on the receiving side. I liked Etienne coming off that injury, missing his whole first year.
Right.
Coming back. I didn't think that what?
Well, I was gonna say when you were talking about the rushing yards, the crazy part is that they was averaging about 5 or 4 yards a carry. It was just,
I mean, when you get down, you have to pass to try to get the ball moving. I like Peterson as the coach. He's coming from Philly, so he knows what championship football is. I think they're on the right trajectory, especially in that division. With the Texans being the Texans, the Titans definitely took a step back. The Colts, we don't know what's happening with them. So many rumors about who their next quarterback is. So,
and head coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him in the same spot next year, maybe with more wins.
For sure.
So I mean, with the Titans though, I mean, well, what's next for the Jags? They could be there, or maybe not, depending on where Aaron Rodgers. Like if Aaron Rodgers were to go with the Titans or the Colts in that division.
Don't forget about Carr too.
Yeah.
That could shake some things up, and then now you're looking at a different type of top competition at the quarterback position that you ain't had to face this year. So,
right. It'd be interesting.
If it was me though, Aaron Rodgers should either go with the Titans or the Raiders. Me personally.
Yeah, Titans. I just don't like there unless you get one playmakers to go with him. That was the biggest thing. You give away your 2 top receivers the past two years. You give one to the Jets. You give one to the Eagles. I mean, they're no better than what they had in Green Bay.
But with the Titans though, Aaron Rodgers, he made a bunch of guys. He made their careers. What's the white guy from Green Bay? He made his career, made him an All-Pro.
The dude, the 85 speed.
White guy, Green Bay.
Who? Donald Trump?
The white guy that
he had one. I think he had one Pro Bowl year.
You talking about Jordy Nelson?
Jordy Nelson.
There you go.
Jordy Nelson was nice, man. Jordy Nelson was nice.
What are you talking about Jordy Nelson for?
That Aaron Rodgers can make it.
Well, we was talking about Aaron Rodgers possibly what teams he should pick between. Well, I said the Colts in that division.
Yeah, we got off subject a little bit.
Yeah, we did, but I was just
like, what? Jordy Nelson.
Hey, man, no slander.
We were saying, well, what was next for the Jags? And I was saying it kind of depends on where Aaron Rodgers goes. Like if he goes to that South division, then there's trouble.
No, he doesn't. He's going to the Jets, New York.
I think Raiders personally back with Adams.
I like the Colts, man. They already got the
I think to be honest though, I think the Jets are. I feel like it makes headlines for the NFL. All the other teams are boring, like Aaron Rodgers and the Titans, Aaron Rodgers and the Colts.
Yeah,
but Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. I mean, that has a ring to it.
That's what Brett Favre did. He's not going with Brett Favre then. He's avoiding any team Brett Favre was on. He's not doing that route.
I can see Minnesota.
No, he's not.
So you feel like he's not gonna go to the Jets because Brett Favre played there? I don't know about that one.
You can see Skip now comparing to Skip. I already don't like him. He gonna compare him to Brett Favre doing the same. Nah, this is my personal. I like the Colts. They got the pieces there, but I digress. Let's move on to the beatdown of the weekend. Whew. It was man. The Eagles beat down the Giants, man. Wasn't even close. I thought the Giants would put up a better fight, but they exposed Daniel Jones for what he was. When you kind of take Saquon out of the mix, he had 9 carries for 61 yards. Over under, on top of your head, Daniel Jones, 200 yards. Anybody know? Passing.
Under.
That was insane to see. 135 yards, passing yards.
Yeah. It was fool's gold. Minnesota defense was trash.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones took advantage of it. They were trash. They took advantage of it. He played the real competition. And I mean, it is what it is. But he fooled a lot of people. I thought it was gonna be a closer game. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think they were gonna win deep down, but I just thought Daniel Jones was at least gonna play a little better. He looked like Daniel Jones again. But shout out to the Eagles. They going on to the next. Trill said he wasn't really impressed with the Eagles. I want to hear his point of view of that. Yeah, man, the Eagles going. They look kind of dominant to me defensively. So we'll see. We'll see, man.
I ain't never impressed with the Eagles. Hell, what you mean? Fuck the Eagles. The coaching staff for the Giants really didn't put, I feel like, Daniel Jones in a better position. I think it was early in the game. I want to say it was like 4th and 5, 4th and 6. And they went for it when they should have punted. Like, I don't feel like the coaching staff was really putting the Giants in a position to try to win that game. But of course, Daniel Jones, he struggled. He definitely saw a better defense than he did last week. I think they got to him a few times as well. I mean, I kind of expected this to happen, honestly. I feel like the Eagles did what they were supposed to do to that type of team,
Yeah.
But like Nucho said, the Eagles move on. It's going to be interesting to see what they do against San Francisco's defense. So, yeah.
Go ahead, Mar.
I mean, I figured that the Giants will get beat down by the Eagles. I think I talked about it last week. The Eagles, they paid for that defense. You know what I'm saying? They added a bunch of talent. And that's what the reason why you do it for times like this. So when you come out there, you could establish your dominance and get off the field and look great like they have been all season. So it will be interesting to see if the defense that they paid for could hold up against San Francisco and those schemes that they got coming towards them this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, because if you look at the numbers, the Eagles said we're just gonna run the ball. They had over almost 230 yards rushing as a unit, with Kenneth Gainwell leading the way. He had a touchdown. I don't think Miles scored one, but they established dominance that way. They ran the ball. They only had pass when they had to. I mean, he only completed 15 passes. 16 passes, 2 touchdowns. 154 yards. But it came with the rushing game. Kenneth Gainwell with 112, Miles Sanders with 90, Hurts with 34, and Boston Scott. And it just, when they beat him down, they tried to took the foot off the pedal because he didn't have to do too much. They knew that they had enough points to where the Giants could come back.
Right.
So we're gonna keep running the ball. The Giants had no answers for them. Good year for them. Good job making the playoffs again, but you can see it had a lot of that like Nucho said, and what I think a couple of guys said, that Minnesota defense is bad. The fact they won the many games they won is eye opening. But so what's next for the Giants? They have a lot of decisions to make. We talked about it last night. Saquon, when he asked for $16 million a year, I think Daniel Jones is up for his contract is up.
Right.
They don't have. I mean, was it Sterling Shepard's their number one receiver?
Yeah.
On paper, yeah.
On paper, yeah. So, but the young guy, what's his name? Richie James. Richie James been stepping up.
Hodges,
yeah. But what do they do? They got a lot. Especially with their big name players, they have some decisions to make.
I think possibly we could be looking at if they don't fix this Saquon situation, I mean, we could be looking at another rebuild year for the Giants. This year, the NFC East was pretty competitive with every team. Every team in the NFC East was competitive. Commanders, shout out to Marv, Giants, Eagles, Dallas, everybody was competitive. If they don't get these people signed, they're not going to compete. It's no good running back free agents out there. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't take care of this Barkley guy, you don't keep him on your team, they're not going to be competing, man. We're going to be looking at possibly rebuilding. Could you imagine Daniel Jones going out there with no Barkley? They probably going to win 2 or 3 games. Man. So I think that they have to get that Barkley deal done, or they're going to be looking at some rough Giants time, rough couple of years coming up.
Real quick. Anybody, if you're watching on YouTube right now, please vote on a poll that we have set up asking about the Super Bowl. Take 2 seconds to check that out for us. Real quick. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, they got a lot of decisions they got to make. Most important, that quarterback position. Like, what are you going to do there? Did Daniel Jones show you enough? I feel like it's kind of up in the air because, I mean, you had a good Daniel Jones and you had a bad Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, the last time you saw him, he didn't impress. So you definitely got to make a decision there. You also got to bring in a receiver. I feel like the Giants are probably like one of the top teams I could see Odell going to. So they definitely need to bring in another playmaker just to kind of take that pressure off of Barkley. I mean, don't get me wrong, Barkley is a great running back, but you could tell in the playoffs, like, his legs were gone. They weren't really using Barkley like they was in the earlier in the season. So you got to bring another playmaker in as well. But it definitely starts with Daniel Jones. Me personally, I don't know. I think I might be looking somewhere else at a quarterback. I don't think he showed me enough, in my opinion. So, yeah.
No, I agree 110%.
Give him another hope.
Because he wanted one that was.
He did. I agree 110% with Daniel Jones. The whole Vanilla Vic last week I'm so glad that's over.
Disrespectful.
So glad that's over with. Because all I saw. Vanilla Vic. Yeah, but you play one of the worst defenses in the league. Now you come up to one of the top 10 defenses, and now you're home. Looking real pedestrian. And he tried to run the ball a lot. And I don't understand why they went away from their original. Well, I get it and I don't. You gotta one of the top. I don't know how much of a top paid receiver, but yeah, Kenny Galladay sitting on the bench, who they paid top money for. I seen him for the first time last week in a game that was already out of hand. So that's money going right there. This bad decision making, but Saquon, we talked about this last night, and this is a little controversial. I just can't see with that team needing as much as they need, giving him $16 million. They still got a lot of things to make up, man. You got a quarterback. You don't know who the quarterback is going to be.
Yeah.
Him after that is basically him saying, "I'm not coming back."
Right.
I'm not coming back. If you want me to stay a Giant and we be pedestrian, Give me 16. I think he knows he's
Right.
not coming. I think he knows he's going somewhere else. And he probably won't ask the next team to go to for 16 mil. I think he wants that to be a giant, but I think going somewhere else, he'll take that cut knowing he's paying for a competitor.
You don't have
Right.
to.
Yeah, he will.
So
He will.
that's gonna be
I just seen something a little off subject. Joe Namath said that he will unretire his number 12 if Rodgers comes to New York.
What I say? It makes for better headlines.
It does. It does. I just can't see it much.
In the division, all you got to worry about the Dolphins.
Now, I would agree with one thing. If he goes to the Jets, he could say he did something that Brett Favre couldn't do. That's the only spin I can see if he goes to the Jets. Like, all right, well, yeah, y'all had Brett Favre, but look what I'm doing with him compared to what he did. I think he got him in the playoffs maybe once or twice. But
hold up. You said the only team is the Dolphins. So just forget about the Bills?
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh, I forgot about the Bills. You're right, Mar.
And the Patriots is only one game out of the playoffs.
About the old ball coach?
I don't trust Mac Jones. I don't trust Mac. I'm sorry.
You don't have to trust him. Bill,
you gotta trust Mac.
You better trust Bill though.
Nah, I don't trust Bill.
Done
I
regardless.
don't trust Bill.
I don't
Bill
trust
ain't never without Brady.
Hard to beat Bill twice.
I don't trust Bill without Brady, man. You show me the proof.
Bill twice. Go ask anybody.
It's hard to beat Brady.
All right, man. Let's keep it moving, man. We're gonna go to the we can talk about that all night long, man. One of the most shocking games of the weekend. Not because that the Bengals won, it's just how they won. They just straight up outplayed the Bills in every way. It was a snow game, but you couldn't tell the way the boys out there throwing the ball. He says, "What snow?" You got Jamar Chase grittying out there in the end zone. It looked like varsity versus JV, and one of the teams that I'm pretty sure 90% of the country had the Bills winning the Super Bowl,
including myself. Myself. Remember, I brought up the whole thing about the weather, and apparently it affected the Bills more than it did the Bengals. They came out like, hey, this whatever. We still here to handle business. And the fact that they were able to do what they did, and really they got lucky because it could have been worse. I mean, that catch that Chase had in the back of the end zone,
touchdown.
If that guy didn't get that hand on it, that was going to be a touchdown. He made the ball move a little bit, but that was a touchdown too. So it could have been worse. I'm in shock. I didn't picture that. And I said that, hey, I thought that they would get after Joe, but they got after Allen. You know what I'm saying? Their defensive line was the one who showed up. So I don't know what happened there. The Bills got some questions. They got to figure some things out. Your boy Brooks over here going crazy. That's his boy. But
Joe Snow.
Bengals did that.
I think, they definitely was, man. You got to give a shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals, man. And the reason why is because what has been the problem with them? Not getting Joe Burrow enough protection. Yeah. I don't know who these no-name offensive linemen are they got, because they got injuries on the line. They got about 3 starters out. And these no-name offensive linemen, I don't know who they are, but they are doing their job. They kept Joe upright. They're protecting him. I don't think he got sacked. Or maybe he got sacked one time. It was like some little running thing. But shout out to the Bengals coaching staff, man. They started off, 0-3? And are headed to the AFC Championship. So Joe Burrow he's a special quarterback. What the coaching staff doing cannot be overlooked. Starting off 0-3, putting this offense. This is what you want out of great coaching staff. To be able to put this offensive line, still protect them, go to Buffalo and just beat them. Just beat them off top, 14-0. I was shocked. I didn't know what was going on. They jumped out 14-0 so quick. I was like, damn, and from there, it was never the same. The Buffalo Bills also haven't been the same, man, since they got rid of since Von Miller went down with that injury. there hasn't been no pressure, man, at all. This team has not looked the same. But I think in the back of everybody's mind, we kind of felt like once Josh Allen get in the playoffs, everything will be okay. They're missing a run game. They need a running back. They need a real running back to help Josh Allen. Josh Allen cannot be carrying all these, he can't be carrying the ball that much, man. He needs a good running game, and that's going to help the passing game also. But Singletary and they need a run game, man, to balance out Josh Allen. Could you imagine Tony P in Buffalo? Nah, that shit ain't going on. We ain't letting that going on. We keeping Tony P.
What about
Barkley? What about Zeke? Nah,
he gets to stay in New York to slide over a little bit.
So this is Josh Allen looked a little pedestrian out there. But I mean, you can't say nothing but great. This is more of the Bengals winning than Buffalo just giving it up. They beat them. They beat them down.
Yeah.
I mean, as simple as it is, I think as a quarterback, how you come out, it's a reflection of the team. And the Bengals came out cool, calm, collective. They knew what they wanted to do, and they did it. And I think that's all because of Joe. Like, Joe is so cool with it. Like, and I think he had them boys ready to go. The NFL didn't help the Bills either, because they pretty much had the tickets already being sold for that neutral site. Yeah. So I mean, if I'm a quarterback, what I'm saying, or not even a quarterback, if I'm a player for the Bengals and I'm saying that they selling these tickets, like, I'm motivated, I'm hyped. Like, okay,
so Trill, kind of explain that. It was a neutral site for what?
I mean, I don't know the full story of it. I think it had something to do with I can't really honestly remember what it was.
Because I kept hearing that all game. Like, I kept hearing, I'm like, man, what was going on? But yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, for the championship game, we're trying to find a neutral. I think that's something they're trying to do.
Okay. So they opened up tickets early.
Yeah.
They was,
and Joe Burrow said in the game, go get your refunds.
All right.
He told them, go get your refunds.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
I agree with what all y'all said, man. They came, they stuck to the game plan. Joe said, what snow? He came out there, he was slinging the ball because Cincinnati gets snow too. There's nothing new to them. So they executed their game plan, didn't change. It was kind of sad seeing Josh Allen. I want to say, okay, sad is a strong word.
That's a strong word.
It was damning to see it, because all year we talk about how his arm strength.
MVP. As a show, MVP this year.
Yeah.
But as a show, we did talk about his turnovers.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah.
Him turn the ball over in crucial times. He looked kind of lost sometimes. And granted, Cincinnati defense looked good. But it's Eli Apple out there at corner,
but I think with Cincinnati, it's more of their scheme. Because if you look at their defense on papers, they don't really have nobody that stand out. But the scheme that they run,
the DN from last week, he's pretty good.
Hendricks.
Yeah, he's pretty good. But I get what you're saying. Yeah. That's one player.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on my that boy Cheeto. Let's not forget about Cheeto Uzier.
Well, yeah. I mean, but
We
got two players that are like recognizable names that we understand and we know who they are.
Jesse Bates. Don't forget about Bates.
Jesse Bates. Okay, now okay.
It's still a scheme. They scheme that they run is it's a great scheme, man. I can't call it, but it works. It definitely works. What do you think, Mar?
Yeah, I mean, they defense showed up and showed out. Like I said, I was just surprised that they were the ones who seemed to be able to apply pressure to the quarterback and cause some confusion. That I thought that they would be able to rough up Joe a little bit. That was my concern. And I also was, like I said, I was concerned about the weather, thinking that, it might turn into a Russian situation. But I also gave the advantage to Cincinnati if that were the case by them having Mixon. It was just ironic that you called it out that said, hey, they need a balance. They need to balance their offense and come up with a better running game, which is something I've been screaming for a couple of weeks now too. Is like, what they got ain't gonna get it. Singletary, Naeem Himes, those that ain't
Nah.
So they got to beef it up. I think that's what they need to do.
And that'll go right to the next topic. Like, what the Bills need to do to get over the hump? Because it wasn't just us. It was a lot of people crowning them at least AFC champs who could take out Mahomes. But man, you see the struggles. You see the struggles when they're back against the wall. It's cool when you jump out 14 points. Now you're making teams catch up. So where you can hide the mistakes of not having a running game. You can hide the mistakes of throwing a red zone interception. But when you're down, they can't fight that. And I think that at some point, like you said, with the scheming, I think they knew Bills couldn't catch up. Because now you see them throwing deep balls, and you couldn't get Diggs open. Gabe dropped a tough touchdown, touchdown catch. You saw the mistakes when you're down. You see the stand down. So what do you mean now to get over that hump?
If I'm Buffalo in the offseason, I'm looking for another pass rusher. Von Miller is nice, but Von Miller always had injury problems. Always. Yeah. He makes a lot of money. I'm looking for another pass rusher, just a pair. And I'm also looking, of course, the run game. Man. Running back.
I think that if they could get a strong play action going with the way Diggs runs routes, if you can get a strong play action going, that'll be real dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Real dangerous.
You gotta give them respect. You gotta give them respect the run first. They don't respect the run. The play action is not gonna work.
That's why they gotta get it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean they don't have to do too much, honestly. Me personally, I think they just need to make sure they get a healthy Von Miller back. I like what Nucho said about bringing another pass rusher just to kind of take that pressure off of Von Miller, because I mean he is getting up there in age as well. I think they also need to definitely look into possibly bringing in another receiver as well. Odell out there, they could possibly bring another receiver as well. And if they fix up that running game too, it's only going to help. It's only going to help Josh Allen in that offense going forward. I think that'll eliminate some of those red zone turnovers that he had as well. Yeah. If you get that run game fixed up as well. So, like I said, though, they don't have to do too much. I mean, they're right there, as far as like roster wise. So,
because you seen towards the middle and towards the end of that game where the zone pressure was just enough. You play zone, you get the front four to get pressure, and Josh Allen just simply didn't have nobody to throw it to.
Right.
He's pump faking, running around. Now you get his what they call it, a secondary sack, because the secondary, the back 4 or 5 is doing their job so well enough that front 4, front 5, front 6 getting pressure enough to get a sack. No blitz, just pressure. Couldn't get nobody open. So they got some things they got to take care of, because we all, me included, I say me, I speak up for myself, crowning to be the champ, and we couldn't get out the divisional round.
Right.
And then it comes to
where's my cue?
No,
let's talk about it, man.
Gotta talk about it. We gotta hear from the diehards themselves. I guess me and Marv can kick it off first for a week from the outside perspective, and I'll let the insiders go in. I enjoyed the game because it was a defensive battle. We saw two great defenses doing what they had to do. I mean, Brock Purdy wasn't Purdy. He was 19 for 30, but he did what he had to do. He made plays. His playmakers made plays for him. You saw the effect of having Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. I think he had a couple of key receptions. I'm not mistaken.
First down catches.
Yeah,
he was contained for the most part. He was contained.
Yeah, but he made the plays. Now your defense played A+ defense. but they were on the field way too long because the
long.
offense didn't get going like they're supposed to. 3 and outs, a lot of mistakes, interceptions. Um, so, as an outsider, with no dog in the race, I enjoyed the game because it was a defensive game. 19-12. You couldn't ask for a better game as an outsider. I can't speak for you guys. You guys gonna have a whole different perspective. What I was looking at, I seen that one pick he threw where Ward stepped in front of him because he just looked at the receiver the whole time. He stepped in front of it. He got the pick, and then Fred Warner, man, that dude. The one. I mean, one play that stood out was him chasing down. Was it CD Lamb in the middle of the play to break up the third and long? Again, was the pass through too short, too long? It was, but he broke up the play.
A better pass is a touchdown, man.
That's what I'm saying. So he should have done. He should have done it. He should have done it.
The one-hand interception was just a great play, right? We can agree on that, right?
Well, I mean, that was a great play.
The one-hand interception, that was a great play, right? That wasn't Dak's fault, was it?
Those one you talking about?
No, that was Dak's fault. He threw in the double coverage.
The one-hand interception on the sideline.
He jumped. No, he underthrew the route. It was between him or CeeDee Lamb got the wrong cue because CeeDee Lamb he was going further, and the corner jumped. He came back before CD did. And you talking about the interception he got on the sideline?
No, the guy he was in trail position and he caught it with one hand. He jumped up and caught it with one hand.
I thought Dak only do 2 picks, right?
He only threw 2.
He only threw 2. I think his first attempt was going to Gallup. I think Gallup was trying to run a comeback. The corner ran it for him. And he jumped it. And then the second one, I think Jimmy Ward tipped and Warner got it.
The one was tipped, but the first one, it was a one-hand catch by the defender.
It wasn't one-handed. It wasn't one.
He jumped and got it, but
he caught it like that.
I could have sworn I was in one hand.
Regardless, it was a goddamn interception, and it shouldn't have been a goddamn pick. He shouldn't have threw that ball like that, regardless. But was y'all done talking? My bad.
I'm done. I see you. I need to get.
I was just gonna say, as far as you go, I mean, it was a defensive battle. Yes, I feel like y'all had your opportunities to win, but I don't know if they got gunshot with the scheme because Dak was out there throwing interceptions in the first half or what. But y'all just put up 12 points, and that ain't gonna get it done. If you'd have told anybody that, hey, you're gonna go into the Bay and you're gonna hold them to 19 points, you'd have thought that our chances are great. You know what I'm saying? But it just didn't shake out like that. So to that, I mean, and then when Tony P goes down, that hurts y'all chances too, because that just puts more pressure on Dak, and he wasn't ready for it. So I think, as funny as it sounds, your boy TV out here screaming, y'all need y'all a white quarterback, but Dak ain't gonna get it done, man. Dak he's showing y'all he ain't gonna get it done.
All right, go ahead, Cowboys.
You want to go first, Trill? All right. So I just want to read this, and this is from the Cowboys Twitter handle. Dak Prescott gave away the ball twice in a narrow loss to the 49ers. In a matchup, the Cowboys had a chance to win, and if they didn't, again, generate self-inflicted wounds, we would have won that game. So
straight like that.
That was tough.
Yeah, I mean, it was very simple and it was cut and dry. Brock Purdy won that game because he didn't make any mistakes. He didn't throw no touchdowns. He didn't throw no interceptions. He just didn't make any mistakes. That's all Dak had to do. That's all he had to do. The first interception was terrible. He stared down a receiver and threw underthrew the ball. He underthrew, and it was he was nowhere near Michael Gallup. He was nowhere near Gallup.
Yeah.
And it was picked off. The second interception, he stared down CD Lamb. It was a bad idea to even throw that ball because the way that he was throwing it, Lamb, it was a bad idea to throw it. The ball gets tipped, and the tight end, the all-pro tight end, comes out of nowhere and picks it off. Not, that was the same drive that Tony P got injured. So it was just more salt on the wound.
Well, real quick on that interception, you can hear the analyst saying that Jimmy Ward stayed in that zone area, so he never left that area. So for him to tip that ball, Dak looked like he didn't even know he was
stared
there.
him down. Yeah,
so
he stared him down. And that's what happens when you stare people down. You're not looking at nothing else. It gets tunnel vision. So the other play that you spoke about with the linebacker that was down the field with CD Lamb, if you throw that ball high and not to his ankles, it's probably a touchdown. You can throw that ball a lot better. It's probably a touchdown. Not only that, on that same exact play, if he had turned his eyes slightly to the left, he had a wide open T.Y. Hilton streaking down the middle of the field.
Open, bro.
Streaking down the middle of the field. So, like Marv said, and like Biz also said, our defense played great. They was on the field for too long, but our defense played great. For how we finished in the regular season, just not really doing too much on defense, and how they had showed up these last two games, man, I tip my hat off to the defensive coordinator. Everybody on defense, hey, y'all did y'all thing.
That's the game. That's the game you wanted Brock Purdy to have. For all the time you talk about playing a good defense, that's the game you wanted him to have. It was set up for you guys to take over.
Exactly. But with the game, man, I'm just gonna selfishly have to just blame it on Dak, man. And I think that right now, Cowboy fans would, we still gonna have the delusional fans that's gonna claim Super Bowl. But with me, as long as, and this is my honest opinion, as long as Dak is our quarterback, I don't think we're gonna ever win the Super Bowl. I don't think so. I just don't. I just don't. It's going to be a couple of things that's going to have to happen, but that's in a perfect world. It's not going to happen in real life. Like, Dak needs a quarterback whisperer in that locker room. Kellen Moore is not the guy he wants. He don't need to be talking with Kellen Moore about quarterbacking. A dude, I beat you out the job. How you telling me how to do the job on the field? What can you tell me that's gonna help me, and I've been better than you your whole career? How can you help? Now, don't get me wrong. You might see some things different, and that's good. But I need someone that's on that next level. I need someone that's been there. I need that type of. Dak needs that in the locker room. That Kellen Moore and that we got to break that up. They got to break that up. But Dak is who he is. He's an average quarterback. He's not top 10. He's like 11, 12-ish. I don't think he's top 10. He's like a middle of the pack quarterback. But like my homie said, it was some Black Kirk Cousins type stuff, man. Trill, you got the floor, man.
You pretty much said everything. It was a tough loss. Right. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little confident going into that game. I fell for it just because, I seen Dak. He came out against Tampa Bay, he did his thing. So I ain't gonna lie, I kind of expected the same thing. Not necessarily the same type of performance, because I know San Francisco has a hell of a defense. Right. But I felt like he did enough to be able to have that confidence to go in to the Bay and win that game against Brock Purdy. Now, because you didn't win that game, me personally, I got to look at it like, bro, you lost to a third-string quarterback that you're going up against. Somebody that really honestly he was there just because of injuries. Like, you lost to a Brock Purdy, bro. I feel like the lights were too bright. I feel like when Tony P went down, a lot of pressure did go on Dak. I don't feel like he knew how to handle it. The coaching staff didn't help. When Tony P did go down, you got a guy in Malik Davis. He's a rookie running back, but he showed you throughout the season that he can kind of run the ball. He didn't get one opportunity. You're still relying on Zeke. Zeke is clearly washed. We all know that. And I hate to say it because I love Zeke. But it's clear that he doesn't have that burst. You got a guy on the bench that has the burst, and you're not, you're not running the ball. It almost feel like they had the intentions of not wanting to run the ball. But I mean, it was a tough loss. Life goes on. We got a lot we got to do in the offseason. We got to address the situation with Kellen Moore and Dak, like Nucho said. That little relationship does have to break up. I really hope he does get the job in Carolina.
Please take it.
Move on.
Take it.
Somebody like a Byron Leftwich would be perfect for Dak. Like Nucho said, somebody that's been there, that's been through it, seen the ups and downs. Yeah. Somebody that he really does have to answer to when he does throw them picks. When he's throwing those picks, and then he's talking to Kellen Moore, he's not saying much about it. Kellen Moore not getting on his ass about it. He needs somebody that's gonna get on his ass when he's not reading the field like he's supposed to, and I think that's gonna help him in the long run. But shout out to that boy DeMarcus Lawrence, Michael Parsons. They wanted it. Curse, he had all kind of injuries. He sold his ass off as well. But I mean, hey, the 49ers move on, and we're back at home. So
now, if I'm not mistaken, I think, and like I said, I did watch some shows just Monday, was watching where everybody was saying that who just said Parsons said something to Dak in the offense, like, man, we're doing our job. We're doing what we're supposed to do.
He deserves it. He
really
I love the criticism because bro, you make millions and millions of dollars, man. I don't want to hear no excuses. Like, bro, get your stuff together, man. Get it together. You making all this money. You do all this practice in the off season just to stare down receivers. Like, bro, that's so high schoolish, bro. Why are you still staring down? You're supposed to be looking off, making you read. You're not even making the reads. You just staring. Just getting tunnel vision. To me, it's lazy. It's lazy to me, bro, because it just showed me that you really not working like that. We think you working. It look good on video when we see you throwing that ball, but you're not working like that, bro. Not to be staring down and still throwing. Bro, he threw 2 interceptions. It seemed like in 12? Like every game he threw 2 interceptions this year, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I feel like he puts the work in as far as like, in the film and things of that nature. But when it comes to those big games, I don't feel like I feel like the lights is too bright for him. I really feel like
he's nervous.
He's nerves, and he kind of not necessarily messed up mentally, but Dak has gone through a lot. And then you add in the fact that you're playing quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I feel like it's too much for him mentally. That's just my opinion.
You might be on to something because he had a play at the end of the game where it was almost a safety, and he went head on with this 300-pound defensive lineman. And I was like, bro, I'm like, what are we doing, bro? Dak went head up, and luckily he broke it, and he was like, okay, what do I do next?
If I feel like he's just not there mentally, honestly. Another play I want to talk about this too, real quick. Nucha, I know you probably agree with me, but Turpin, he clearly had a touchdown. If y'all remember on that kick return, he broke loose, and
talk about kicker.
He had the outside, like it was nothing but field. He had a touchdown, but for some reason he wanted to go hit the kicker, like.
And then not only that, but he jumped into the kicker. Like he put his back on him like bro, what? I didn't like that, bro. I didn't like that, bro. You got all this speed. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't. Well, let me ask you a question about that. That's another question I'm gonna ask on top of that. Why isn't Turpin with that speed not involved with the offense a little bit more as far as just come up with different plays? Reverses, just something,
a touch.
That speed that's only used for kickoff and pumping terms.
And see, another thing that pisses me off too, when Tony P went down with that injury, Turpin should have had that role. Not necessarily like a running back, but you
got
give
some
him
touches.
You know what I'm saying? Put him in motion, throw some screens to him.
And even if you don't throw it to him, put him out there just to. You need something else to kind of trick this. Yeah, distract the defense because now the defense is just like, yeah, what you got? Thank God for CD Lamb. Thank God for CD Lamb. But they should have put something out there to help that offense. But
you talking about
one thing about Mike, huh?
You talking about that 1B?
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
That was just a quote we heard yesterday. It was a quote. It wasn't us saying
that.
It's
whispers.
Whisper. That nigga said that shit out loud, and I don't like that.
That one thing about Mike McCarthy though, he's not real good on, and I know he doesn't necessarily run the offense, but Mike McCarthy's not real big on those gadget type players. Like he don't like that type of. He just wants run game, pass game, and that type of stuff. But as Kellen Moore, you got to step up. You got to find some way to get Turpin on that field. You got to find a way to get him involved some way, somehow. Even if he's a decoy, get him out there. What do we got to lose at this point?
And let me ask you one more question. And I saw Michael Irvin. He was the funniest thing I ever heard Michael Irvin say Monday. On the last play. You got Zeke snapping the ball. He got destroyed. Like somebody just couldn't wait to put him in the dirt. He couldn't wait. Like,
they said Zeke got bad, bro.
They did. They did him wrong. He's an Ohio State guy. I never liked him because he beat us every year at Ohio State. He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that. Whoever, I would have told him no. I'm not going out there. But that's not the funniest part. Dak overthrows Turpin, who's like, what, 5'10"? How tall is Turpin? Was that Turpin who caught the pass, actual pass? On that?
Yeah, it was.
He didn't overthrow him. I mean,
he threw it too high.
He
shouldn't have to jump to get that pass, and he got speared out of the air.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin said that shit just took me and got on, get ready for next season. That was for him to come out with that play. You didn't get a chance to even pitch the ball off to even see what you can get.
Yeah, that was just insult to injury, man. That was when I looked at that, bro. I didn't want to throw my phone, bro. I already knew it was over with, but I was just like, damn, that's the play. I see Zeke get laid out.
Face when it happened like that.
I see Zeke get laid out. Turpin over here, Moss's niggas are getting speared. I'm like, man, what is going on? Like, we never had a chance, bro.
We never have a chance.
We never had a chance, bro.
If that's Zeke's last image as a Cowboy, that's tough. Because I don't know who that was that couldn't wait. He said, "No, I believe."
Boy, they beamed his ass. They beat his ass, boy. Laid out that grass. They had a grass print where Zeke was.
Laid out. But you guys basically talking about what the Cowboys do next, man. And the consensus is get Dak out of there, right? Which is tough because the contract is big. You can't trade him.
He's not going nowhere, but I think they need to put some pressure on his ass. Like draft somebody in that second or third round, man. I would take a chance. The Commanders just picked up a nice quarterback, and I think they got him in the.
No, like you
just went mute.
Yeah, well, you said they picked a nice court. Nice. There you go. Get back on. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. No, I was gonna say the Commanders picked up a nice quarterback, man, from North Carolina. They drafted him like in the 4th or 5th round, and he's nice. He's probably gonna be the starter next year.
Hal?
Yeah, Hal, yeah.
Okay.
Hal was a good quarterback in North Carolina. He's gonna be starting next year for the Commanders. So put some pressure on the Dak ass, man. Put some pressure up under him, man. Draft a quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round. I mean, why not? I mean. Everybody pretty much is. I'm not gonna say everybody's coming back, but most of the pieces are there. Just draft them, man. Why not?
Yeah, I'm with that. I mean, financially we can't, do too much with Dak, but somehow, some way, we can get Aaron Rodgers and that Mike McCarthy reunion going again. I'll be with that. Honestly,
I'm loving it. I'll be with that too.
Play for McCarthy again. I mean, that was. I don't think Rodgers will play for McCarthy again. It was
a bad. And a lot of people say that, but if you remember when we played Green Bay, they pretty much they're back talking again. They're back communicating. They claim that they're cool again. Fox tried to make a story out of it. Okay. But supposedly that they're back. They got a relationship once again. But like I said, in the dream world, that's what I would do, me personally. I mean, you get Aaron Rodgers with our weapons and that offensive line and that defense. I mean, hey.
And as Green Bay, I'll take Dak. If I'm a Green Bay fan, because we don't know who this Love kid is. Who is he? What does he do? You know what I'm saying? What is Love? What does he do? Who is he? So I'll take Dak for a couple of years. The contracts, and the reason why they would work is because the contracts are similar. They got the same type of contract. So, I mean, that will probably be a perfect scenario. Like Trill said, in a dream world, that'll be perfect, man. The contracts match up.
The only thing that's really messing it up, too, is that, Green Bay has came out and said they're not trading him to an NFC team.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, they could change their mind if they realize that, hey, we're not going to get a Dak in return for him.
Right.
Yeah, now it may change the whole thing. If you get a Dak in return, he's on his low radar out in Green Bay.
Right.
Not much pressure than playing with that star on your helmet. It's an interesting scenario for both of those guys. Because it's like the whole Dallas Cowboy Nation is kind of turning back on Dak, and
Yeah, I think it's time, bro. Year 7, year 8, he is who he is.
Still making the same mistakes. You're still staring down receivers.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
Now the tough thing the tunnel at the end of the road is that it took Matthew Stafford 13 years. I don't want to wait that long.
Well, I mean, you didn't have I know, but you didn't have our team either. You didn't have our ownership. Your ownership tries. You can't compare that, man.
Hey, I just want to say it took Stafford 13 years, man.
And it wasn't for Calvin. I don't think Stafford would have been that successful either.
That's true. That's true. That's the only thing I got going for me.
I see what you're saying, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough to wait that long.
Especially when might be the second or third best receiver that ever lace him up.
Yeah. And Dak, we know Dak ain't going nowhere, so it is what it is.
All right, man. We go ahead and because that man. Go ahead and go to the championship games, man. The first one is the 49ers at the Eagles. Yeah. They see some tunnel.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
Light at the tunnel, yeah. So we got the 49ers going to
Brooks, get up out of here, man.
We got the 49ers going to the Eagles. It's a tough game kind of predict, man. You got two good defenses again. But I think Philly's offense can overcome and help that defense out. You get blocked, like you said, you guys had the perfect game for Brock Purdy, 19 for 30, no touchdowns. You had the perfect game plan. And if I'm Philly, I'm watching that, okay, we can do that. And our quarterback can make plays for us. We had 230 yards as a team last week. We stuck to our game plan. So I'm taking the Eagles to take that game, man. I think they put the same pressure y'all did on defense, but the offense actually puts up more points.
I agree. Marv said something last week where he was like, Brock Purdy, this run has to come to an end soon, and I feel like it's definitely gonna be against Philly. Like I said, I think that defense is gonna get to him. I mean, we definitely, we got to him a lot, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Philly led the league in sacks.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna get in his face. I feel like they're gonna put some pressure on him, and I think he'll crack. It's crazy. I mean, I hate it, but I think Philly moves on to the Super Bowl.
Neutral or Marv, go ahead.
Go ahead, Marv.
Oh, 49ers at Eagles. Yeah, I'm thinking the Eagles gonna be too tough. The one thing that was alarming though, I guess they didn't have to because they just beat the Giants up so bad with the running attack. But to only throw it for less than 200, what was that? 100? What did you say, Vizzo?
156, 150. Yeah, it was under 200.
So
2 touchdowns though.
You definitely gonna have to do a little more than that. You're gonna have to complete over 20 passes, I would say, to beat San Francisco.
Yeah,
because they're not gonna let you run it on front. You're not running it like that against their front seven. I just don't see that happening. So we'll see. But I think they got something for them. I think Philly wins this one. Probably. I'm thinking this is the game where Purdy comes up with like 2 interceptions, and they win this game by like 7 to 10 points.
You muted, New Show.
I think this is going to be Philly's game, man. Like Mark said, I think Brock Purdy is going to make that mistake. He had an interception against Dallas that Trayvon Diggs had dropped, and that was in the red zone also. That would have been a crucial turning point. I don't want to get back on that, but I think this is the game. Yeah, I think this is the game where Philly gets on Brock Purdy, man. The Brock Purdy story has been a great story. Next year is going to be interesting for the 49ers, the offseason. Offseason is going to be very interesting with 3 starting quarterbacks in their locker room. But this game is going to be tough for the Eagles also because the 49ers have the number 1 run defense. And what do the Eagles primarily do is, run the ball well. Throwing the ball is supposed to be easy against the 49ers because they got Lennar on the 49ers. They're going to have a field day with him. They're going to have a field day with him, boy. He had that 1 interception, but besides that, he couldn't do nothing. Ward is good, but A.J. Brown could go to town on Ward. He's good, though, but A.J. Brown could definitely win some jump balls on Ward. So I got the Eagles winning this game, man, and it's just a lot of stuff that stack up against the 49ers playing a Philadelphia team like this.
Everybody went. Marv, you went.
I think that's everybody.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting game. Like I said, the Purdy road, man, it could be. He can write another chapter, win this game. It's probably. I don't know. I thought the Dallas game was the toughest game he had. This game would be tough. I still think your defense play A+ defense, man. And if I'm the Eagles and watching that game, like I said earlier, I'm taking notes. I know what makes them uncomfortable.
Right.
That they also plus side to the 49ers was getting that trade with Christian McCaffrey, man. It turned out because they kept pounding the ball. He was struggling in the first half, first 3 quarters. They didn't stop. They knew that your defense was on the field too long, and like you said, shout out to your front 7, man. Them guys, if the whole defense is a whole, they just got wore down. So So on the Eagles, man, I watched that game very closely. AFC Championship game. If the Bengals at the Chiefs. Woo! I don't know. Joe Burrow, and shout out to Brooks. He said me and Dutra was talking down about him. I want to find those clips, Brooks. But he did it 3 straight times. 3 times, 3 times in a row. That's tough. This is the guy we say is the best quarterback in the league, but Joe Burrow and his team has beaten him the last 3 times, including last year the AFC. It was AFC Championship game they beat him last year, right?
Right. Yes, sir. AFC Championship.
You know what? I'll ride with the Bengals. I want to take the Bengals and take this game. Their defense looked good and made stops. Yeah, legit.
It's legit.
The scheme is really working for them. I think they came out with that same scheme. Hey man, we're gonna let you throw the ball. We're gonna stop what you really want to do. They don't trust I don't trust KC's defense. I mean, running game. So we're gonna let you throw it 40 times with Mahomes, but we're gonna make enough plays, make him more comfortable and complete. Because when it comes down to it, the pressure, who's their top receiver they're gonna go to? Who's gonna make that play? It's easy when you're up by 2 touchdowns early. But I don't think he really met no adversity enough to say, "Oh yeah, we good." But Travis Kelce part, I always think about Kelce because Kelce. I don't understand how this man is always open. I don't understand that.
You know how to move
the defense,
on that field, man.
It's his main go-to move is that fake block. That's what messes him up. He does his little.
But like they said, he doesn't block. They don't pay him that money to block. He's not paid to block.
They go for it every time.
They go for it every time. He sells it though. He sells it.
Yeah, he does. He does.
If I'm the defense, anytime I see a bunch formation and he's stacked to the inside, I know the pick play is coming.
Right.
I know
Another thing also with Kelce is that he doesn't catch anything deep. He don't catch nothing deep.
Hell no, he don't.
Nothing deep. Everything with Kelce is 15 to anything from 5 to 25.
That's a great point.
That's how far Kelce goes. 5 to 25. He never goes deep. But I'm gonna piggyback on what Bid said, man. I'm going with Cincy. And a lot has to do with Mahomes just being stationary. That's not Mahomes' game. That's not Mahomes' game. He needs to move to get those plays out. So I think that's going to play a big part in that game. And the Chiefs' defense is not stopping Joe. They just not. They're not good enough. Chris Jones is a great defender. He has 0 postseason sacks. He don't have 1 sack in the postseason. He's a good defender, though. I'm not taking nothing away from Chris Jones. He's top of his position, but he just doesn't do enough in the postseason. So
even with the Bengals have backup linemen in. They're not the starters. These are backup guys.
With this new backup line that they didn't put together and the way they're playing, the Chiefs defense is not doing anything, man. They're not gonna stop Joe. They're not gonna stop They're not gonna stop Piron. They're not gonna stop Mixon. They're not gonna stop those 3 receivers. It's just too much. It's too much, bro. So if you could stop Mahomes from getting that touchdown and just settling for those 3 points, that's a win. And I think that's probably where they're gonna get them at. I got the Bengals. The Bengals gonna win this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cincy as well. Like we talked about, that offensive line has proved that they can give him enough time to make plays. And if you give Joe enough time to make plays, he will pick you apart. I mean, he has the weapons to do it. Nucho, you didn't even mention the tight end that he has. Hurst is a dog as well. So he can definitely pick you apart. This ankle injury, this high ankle sprain, I mean, you could tape it up, a whole lot. You're not the same. I mean, I've had a high ankle sprain. It's a tough injury to deal with, and like y'all hit it on the head. That's Patrick Mahomes' games, being mobile, moving around, scrambling around, And if he does not have that, and you keep him, in the pocket, you got your chances are likely higher to win this game. So I'm gonna go with Cincy. Like you said too, Kansas City does not have the defense, I feel like, to keep up with Cincy's weapons. I kind of expect a shootout, but I don't think Mahomes' ankle is gonna hold up. So give me the Bengals, 34-28.
It's always tough going to Arrowhead though. And I never want to count Andy Reid out of anything, but the way Joe Cool is playing right now, just from my eye test, I feel like they're gonna get the job done. I think It's unfortunate for Kansas City because I feel like they, kind of ran the table, so to speak, this whole year. And then for Mahomes to get hurt, like they had something special going, and they probably would have been able to get the job done. Probably would have been the favorite, especially since the Bills got knocked out. But with this injury, I can't trust it. Everything that y'all said, y'all hit it on the head. Like, he needs to be able to move around. They don't have the best offensive line, so his mobility is what kind of saves him. And that's what he likes to do anyway. So they kind of move him around in the pocket. But like you said, them high ankle sprains, they ain't nothing nice to deal with. You can shoot them up, but towards the end of the game, when that pain start kicking in, and you need to plant and you need to make a good throw, it may not be there for you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with Joe Cool on this one. I know Brooks love to hear that, but
he might not though. We didn't pick him last week.
Yeah, you didn't praise him at the beginning. If you didn't praise him at the beginning,
Brooks don't forget nothing.
Like him now.
The way he's been playing, he's just been cool, man.
Real quick, I will say this though. That little running back the Chiefs got, what's his name? Pacheco. He nice. Yeah. He nice. I think they're gonna have to rely on him a whole lot. With what's going on with Mahomes, and I think he can handle the load. I mean, that's really the only chance I give Kansas City. But other than that, I'm still going with Cincy.
Yeah, Pacheco been looking good. They wasted a draft pick on that Clyde Edwards-Helaire guy. Like, where is he? Where has he been?
I mean, for what he was doing. What was he?
It was a wasted pick, man. Huh? Second round.
But that offense is not predicated to giving the running back the ball. Eddie Reed, when he made that trade, that trade, but he made that switch to Mahomes.
Yeah,
he knew we ain't run the ball. We don't have no 1,000-yard.
But it was still a wasted pick because they had to find a guy in the 5th round from Rutgers or wherever he's from, and not only that, McKinnon. I just haven't seen Clyde Edwards. I haven't seen Clyde Edwards in the last 3 since he got drafted.
He won.
His rookie year. The first game of the year, he had about 100 and something rushing yards. My brother-in-law called me going crazy, talking about we got us one. I ain't seen him since. I just want to shout that out.
And you know what? And the reason why you're going to see more McKissick because the way they have him shuffle around that backfield is what they did with Tyreek Hill, having him moving, getting the defense uncomfortable. Or what is he going? What is he going to do? Yeah. He's not Tyreek Hill, but he can give that presence of is he going to reverse to him. They're gonna throw it to him. So that's why you see him on McKissick, and he's making do with what he's doing with those touches. That high ankle sprain is going to be tough, and I wouldn't doubt if Cincy off rip blitz just to test it, see what it look like. But don't get roll because they don't have the 98, 99 speed Tyreek Hill. Running down, never worry about it. You got 2-yard and pop Kelsey who can get 15 yards after the catch.
And another thing, y'all Chief fans, y'all was all capping about Valdez Scandrick. Yeah, man, that boy Juju, man, they ain't gonna lie, their receiving core is doo-doo. Besides Tony, their receiving core is doo-doo.
It is. Those are all teams that got rejected players got rejected from their other teams. Green Bay didn't have nobody that still let Valdez walk.
Valdez, Kendrick, Juju. No, Juju is out of there.
They knew it. Pittsburgh knew it.
Yeah.
I think one of you guys said it. Juju was the same after Antonio Brown left.
Oh yeah, Antonio Brown. Yeah.
One thing that receiving core can lean on is Kelsey though. A lot of receivers don't have a type tight end like that. That's bringing all that attention to himself on that field like that. So
it's only a handful who can really get that done. I don't want to speak to another guy who had some nice catches this past weekend.
Man.
But so that's a wrap for the show tonight. But before we go, we got a new sponsor. New sponsor alert.
New sponsor alert. New sponsor alert,
man.
What's up, Pat?
It speaks straight. It speaks straight to my heart. W, man. Energy drinks.
W.
And energy drinks is going out there. So you put that code and you go sign up for what you want. Put that code in, ANEP, 10% off. I'm getting mine soon. I'm getting my own. Y'all know I love the energy drinks, but it's a supplement, so you get, you can overdo it. You can underdo it. I can't wait to get mine, try mine out. But
can you send me a cup?
I see you a cup. I see you a cup, man. But yeah, this is a new company, man. It's a new company, man. They're starting out, so they, we helping them out. They're helping us out. So you get a chance, man. If you love any drinks like I do, check them out. Use that code, get that 10% off.
W.
With that being said, we are out. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Again, follow us, like us on Facebook, YouTube. Tell your friend, tell a friend, tell another friend. We give our best opinions about sports. You see, we get to some debate. We got some diehard fans here who love our sports teams, man. So tell a friend and tell a friend and tell another friend.
All right.
Like I said, I said that. Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Mel always coming through. Make sure I stay in check. Make sure I put the right stuff in the brand. She always jumping in here. Appreciate you, Mel. But with that being said, people, we are out.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Good night, man.